It's the Scott Fish Bowl Playoff League 10.
What is happening right now? Sorry, everybody. Hey.
Why am I up here? I gotta get out of the seat.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? And welcome to another Wednesday Hangouts. And that's what we're here to do. Hang out. Why is Charlene saying biscuits and gravy already? Are we here for food already? Like, I'm in.
I don't know, but that sounds amazing.
It does. It does. You want to know what I made for dinner tonight?
Well,
Yes, I do. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do.
I made burgers, but I made the kids just normal burgers with a nice sharp Tillamook cheese. But the bread, I made Texas toast.
yes.
And I got some butter and some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning mixed up together as a spread on both sides of the Texas toast and grilled those so that they had burgers on some Italian seasoned garlic salted Texas toast as the bun. And then for my wife and I did the same thing with the bread for the buns, with the Texas toast with the buns, but I made habanero cheddar burgers.
Ooh.
Nice.
So it was delicious.
Generally,
we'll throw a garlic aioli on our burgers, but usually not with the habanero ones. We just love bringing in the spice, and that might cool it down.
There's not much I wouldn't put a garlic aioli on.
Yeah, I do love a garlic aioli. It's weird. I don't like mustard, but I like garlic aioli.
Mustard
really
is in everything.
Sorry,
it's
not
okay
mustard.
not to like mustard.
Sorry, no, I don't like mustard either, but I meant mayo. I don't like mayo, but I like a good garlic aioli. I don't like horseradish, but I like cocktail sauce. Like there's sometimes something you don't like can be part of something greater that you really like. Like I don't like Bob, but I love Fantasy Cares. So I'm just kidding. I love Bob.
But like tomatoes is a big thing. A lot of people don't eat tomatoes, but everybody eats sauce.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's more of a textural thing, though.
Yeah, could be. There are very few white sauces I like. It's very weird. It has nothing to do with the color. It's just there are a lot of red types of sauces I like, and a lot of white ones I just don't like.
Well, white sauce is usually just cream or cheese.
It is a Still Austin whiskey tonight. It's good. You're probably right. My son's very much like me. He's really gotten into buffalo wings recently. My son,
Nice.
Bone in or bone out, he's fine. People are gonna say chicken tenders in the chat. I don't care.
Whatever.
Like, it's chicken. It's delicious. It's food. I don't care. But he's like me. He likes buffalo wings, but he's like ranch or blue cheese. He's like, no.
Nope.
Celery, no.
Nope.
Just give me the wings.
I'm all there. I don't dip. I don't need the veggie for anything. Just give me wings.
Yeah. Just give me the wings. I will eat the wings. I enjoy the wings. So if there's a pick six during a game, we've done this twice now, and thank you, Dan Campbell, for this and your commercials. But if there's a pick six during the games on Monday, you get 6 free wings at Applebee's. So my son and I, because there was a pick six, ironically, Dan Campbell's team threw the pick six last weekend.
Thank you, Dan Campbell.
We went and got some free wings on Monday.
I wonder, there's an Applebee's right near me. I wonder if that's a thing here. Is it a thing everywhere?
It is
Must be.
national.
That's going to be a national.
Yep.
And the $9 bacon cheeseburger.
Yep. $9.99 bacon cheeseburger. Yep. So
That commercial I've seen.
Yep. Yeah. I like doing kid stuff. I like doing kid stuff. This just before I got on, I was playing with Magnetiles with my kid. Do you guys know Magnetiles?
Yep.
Does Sharon know Magnetiles? So what we would do with him, we were building castle stuff, but then we would shut off the lights and put flashlights in them. So it'd be like colors all over the ceilings.
Like you were doing with your freaky face thing before?
Yeah. That's actually what this was for. We put it in the base of one of the castles. But yeah, if you put flashlights in the castles, it'll shoot different colors all over your ceilings and stuff. So it's a fun way to add a little extra joy to the magnetiles. But speaking of crazy colors, there's this illusions place at the Mall of America. There's a couple different illusions places, but one of them is like super crazy colors and fun and stuff. And I love that my oldest is 12, so he can take the 6-year-old in, because one of them is no adults allowed. I mean, I should rephrase. Adult tickets were $20, so basically it was no adults allowed.
Yeah.
So I just sent the kids in there because I'm not paying $20 for me to go through it. So yeah, it wasn't really no adults allowed, but that's a steep price for an illusions thing for me to go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy doing stuff with with my kids. I know most people hate it. That's commonly hated, right? Like everybody hates. No,
Kids are the worst. Yeah.
they're the worst. They're the
I mean,
worst.
You hate to get up and do it, but then when you're doing it, you love it.
No,
Oh,
no.
I'm sitting on the couch, but all right, fine.
Yeah, this sounds awesome. I should look into that because I like Marble Run type stuff.
Yeah, that does sound like an interesting. We had the Magnetiles, have the Magnetiles. I've never seen the Marble Run. Like that was a thing when I was growing up. Was the Marble Runs
Used to have Marble Run sets.
Yeah.
I should say used to, because things get used once or twice and then everything gets lost.
Yeah.
Is that like the ones with the little gerbil holes that you run the ball through?
Yep.
Yeah. Callan used those. Yeah, actually got some more today.
I like stuff that doesn't like ever age, like the Hot Wheels and their tracks.
Yeah.
The tracks we used as a kids and the connectors, they're the same today. You can go to every like garage sale and just pick up a bunch and you can make the most insane track ever because it's all the same 50 years of doing it.
That's so my grandmother passed away a couple of years ago, and people were like laying claims on things that they wanted from her house. And I got forks and I got the Hot Wheels tracks. Because like she had just
two
like
important
miles.
things.
Yeah, like the forks are great because like they're just perfectly balanced and they're a little rounded. They're almost spork, but not quite. But they've got a great weight on the back and like when I was
sitting here at dinner, perfectly balanced.
So like when I was little, I used to go to her house and she would make like these comfort meals for me, and I would eat them with those forks.
Those forks,
and and every time I take a bite, and I don't know why, but I would run the end of the fork off my, and so like I've got this like affinity to the fork, and they were like, "Do you want anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I want those 4 forks," and they were like, "Do you want any of the rest of the silverware?" No,
nope.
I'm good,
man. That's great. We did. I don't want to interrupt Russ or Bob. I feel like I talked too much.
Callan got that tower with the dragon Hot Wheels thing, and I mean, it just takes up so much space. Like because the tracks are starting to connect, you're connecting all these sets together.
Yeah.
You got to run the whole room. I mean, it gets overwhelming at times.
Well, the boys actually moved together into one room. So we had separate rooms. I have a 9 and 11, and probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, they got Hot Wheels sets, and it got big enough that Harrison moved into Caleb's room. They did bunk beds. So they have a playroom, which is really Harrison's room. So they have the Hot Wheels sets. Now it's Legos. Just Legos everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit of my bad on that one.
I know it's all good.
I wish my kids liked Legos more. My son had a stint during COVID when Lego Masters like kind of made its hay.
Yeah.
But otherwise neither of them are really into it. I don't know. Like you, Zach, when my grandparents passed, I have no grandparents left, but when they passed, I got minimal things, but things that meant a lot to me. I think I got 3 things. So I got these whiskey glasses that were my grandpa's, and he would each night, a little nightcap of a glass of whiskey. He had a whole thing, like a whole like a bar thing, and he had these highballs, and he had really nice whiskey. I remember all those, and I don't know. I remember thinking that was cool when I was a kid. Maybe it wasn't, but I got his highballs, and I got on another side, I got a candy dish that was always out for the grandkids. Like I remember we would always come in and we like, where's the candy dish? We get the candy dish. And then I got one other thing that I'm going to grab and show you. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm going to see if I can show it.
I mean, I don't have any grandparents left, but I didn't get any cool crap because of it. Like, what the hell is this?
And it's really funny for me. Like, I'm not necessarily a sentimental person, but like there are a few things. Like I got my grandfather had white rocks that line his driveway, and so I have like and it's in like the bedroom on a shelf, just kind of just a white rock. Like it's it's like it's
are they? Okay.
It's like a softball size. But that's what he painted them and lined his driveway. So like, I don't know. Cute. Yeah, it's just things.
Is that a globe bar?
This is a globe from 1944, and it turns on.
Oh,
that I got from my grandpa. And
cool.
I actually fixed it. It was broken, and I fixed it myself.
Huh.
You call somebody to come fix it?
$300.
I paid $300 for someone to come replace my toilet seat and fix the globe.
Fix the globe.
But, yeah, it's a globe from 1944. The bulb in there has never been changed, which is unreal to me.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to bet there are a lot of countries on this that don't exist anymore.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see the paper is coming off in some spots, but this was in the living room when I was growing up. The same living room that I watched the Twins 87 and 91 World Series, the same living room that I watched Comedy Central right when it came on the air, the first season of the Timberwolves playing basketball, like a whole lot of memories in that in that time. So
that's awesome.
So very few things, but things that meant something to me. And all the other relatives, they grab this and this and this and this and this. I'm like, nah, I'll take a couple things. I'm not going to clutter my house. I just want the things that meant something. I love the thing with the forks, man.
Yeah. And it is like, it's always that. And it's funny. You talk about like seeing all the different sporting events too. And having the globe be in the same room. And like, it's incredible. Like the connection, my dad's parents, we used to drive every weekend. Oh my goodness. It was 2.5 hours. Every Friday we would get in the car. We would drive 2.5 hours to my dad's folks' house. And as a kid, it was brutal. Like you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to grandma and grandpa's today. And now looking back, like I watched, like every Friday we'd sit down and we'd watch the Celtics because they had cable. Like we didn't have cable. They had cable. And so we'd sit there and watch the Celtics. And so like we're watching Bird and McHale and Parrish and that whole era. And like I learned some of the like my most colorful profanity from my grandmother. Like she was amazing. And like looking back on it, there's so many good memories from it, but in the moment you're like, oh, we got to drive 2.5 hours again. And
100%. I mean, less on the memories front, and well, maybe now memories, but similar to that, I've talked about this with Bob and Russ before. I don't know if I've talked about it on the chat. Is the reason I fixed so much stuff is because my parents built their house when I was 11 and 12 years old. We went from pouring the foundation to shingling the roof plumbing, electrical, everything in between, like sheetrocking, framing, everything. My parents, like friends helped, relatives helped, but we took 2 years to build the house. So now I can fix like everything, like even like the neural pathways are just there. But in the moment, much like those drives, I was like, God, this sucks, but I'm doing it. But now I'm like, hell yeah, I'm glad I did that. That was awesome. I don't have the same Celtics memories, but at my grandparents' house with watching. I mean, they like you, they had cable. I didn't, so that's where I got my first tastes of Comedy Central and stuff like that, and games I couldn't normally watch. Absolutely.
That's where I got my introduction to wrestling was Saturday morning. They'd have like the recap, like Saturday morning wrestling, and so like I'd sit there, and my grandmother, they had of course TV trays because they're of that generation, so would have a TV tray, and she'd make like, this is probably where I come. So I come by it honestly. She'd make like 3 different breakfasts. So it'd be like egg and toast, and then she'd be like, oh, I can do ham and scrambled eggs and this, and then I can do French toast, so like I just keep eating. She keep bringing me food.
Oh, we got to make a good. I have a bunch of Texas toast left. Now you've made me want to make some French toast.
I'll be over. I can be there in like 6 hours.
Yeah. I love making food. It's good. I like trying to make food at least. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Speaking of food, I watched. So we saw that new. We watched a movie recently, and there was a joke about a sourdough starter kit that had been sitting out or whatever, and a joke about it saying "ew" and whatnot, and I was like, I don't care. I want to try every starter of sourdough. I want to try every variation of sourdough that has ever existed. Like that is. My wife jokingly said to me that I should put that on a vision board and try to taste every type of. I love sourdough. I'll eat anything on sourdough. It's absolutely delicious. Are there people that don't like sourdough?
I was about to ask, like, is that a thing that people don't want to try all the sourdough breads?
In the whatever we were watching,
the idea of the starter is weird.
Yeah,
like that jar with the weird, gross smelling thing. Yeah. But like sourdough bread itself is wonderful.
Yeah. In the movie, they're like, ew, and I'm like, no. That is a whole lot of deliciousness waiting to happen, is what that is in my head,
Yeah. And what is that? Brooklyn Nine-Nine has, I think, like 2 different storylines with sourdough starters.
Definitely has the Boyle family sourdough starter. Absolutely. Yeah. Also, we were watching a movie the other day. This feels like it keeps transitioning in weird ways, this show, but we were watching a movie recently that made us realize that, John Wick and movies like that. What was that? Oh, it was the Back in Action movie with the new one with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx on Netflix. And it makes us realize they're just like, wherever you are in the world, there's probably spies within 40 feet of you. That's just how it works, I feel like. And we just don't know it. There's always spies around you nowadays.
Usually next door.
Could be. Absolutely could be. Spy next door.
Just like us.
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I bet it is. I go to San Francisco we go about every other year, something like that. My wife's absolute best friend in the world, our maid of honor at our wedding, lives there, and so we go there. Yeah, every year or two, every other year or every 3 years, something like that.
I've never been west of Colorado.
Really,
west of Chicago.
Colorado is gorgeous.
I love Colorado, but yeah,
that if I was going to live in a state that wasn't Minnesota, it might be Colorado. God, it's so beautiful in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's. Hey, chat. What was your favorite state to visit that you do not live in?
I don't really have it's funny. I don't do things like I go to specific places and stay in that place.
San Diego was probably my favorite.
I do enjoy San Diego.
70 and sunny.
I've been there
Yeah.
4 times. Yeah,
That's,
I really
mean,
enjoyed Colorado.
I went out
San
played
Diego.
Torrey Pines, and I mean,
Oh.
it's beautiful out there.
Western
Torrey
Wyoming.
Pines is awesome. So you're going down like the fourth hole, and you look over to the left, and there's hang gliders below you.
Huh.
I
What?
mean, they're just hang gliding over the beach. That's how high the cliffs are, right off of the
That's horrifying.
course.
I see some South Carolina. I see some Florida, but I don't like places with snow.
You don't
So,
or do?
Oh,
So no Louisiana for
yeah,
you.
no Louisiana, no
my
South Carolina.
father texted me. It snowed at Disney.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I
wild.
have not been to Alaska, Scampers. I think it would be beautiful. I'm sure. My cousins used to live on Maui, so we would go there every X amount of years. Maui is one of my favorite places to go. I think a lot of it is he showed us around to places that tourists don't usually go, and that's when you can get a locals tour of it, it's even better. And my parents live in Arizona, so again, we go there like every other year. So there's a lot of awesome stuff in those places.
Austin was fun.
Austin,
Massachusetts.
No, you joke, but so I've only been to one Packer game at
Road
Lambeau.
trip is so good.
My wife and I road tripped to Lambeau to a Packers game, and it was a Monday night game. And we got up at when did we get up? Between like 6 and 8 a.m. It was early. My wife is not sure. She's shaking her head. She's not sure.
She's just
But
telling you
we
to stop
were
talking.
probably I'm gonna say we were up by 8 a.m. And we decided to go out and walk around because Green Bay is not that big. You can walk it's just not that big. You can walk, at least from where our hotel was. 8 a.m. for a Monday night game, streets are covered in tailgaters. Like they are tailgating all day long for the Monday night game. And I'm like, and that stadium there is not a bad seat in that house. It is an awesome stadium. It is such a good stadium to watch a game. If you haven't been, it's pretty awesome. Alaska and Maui
I
are my
have
favorites.
Been to a game in Green Bay.
I agree with Greg. I need changing seasons, at least for where I live. I don't see ever leaving Minnesota. I need the seasons.
I saw a lot of answers and none were Maine.
The problem is nobody goes there.
Yeah.
So they don't know what
it's
it's like.
It's vacation land. It says so on the license plate.
Yeah. No, Maine's awesome. Just nobody goes there
Yeah.
because they can't get past New Hampshire.
My wife just said she would go to Maine. Like it's beautiful in Maine, I would assume. Plus, if you go to Maine, you have an outside shot at meeting a guy who had 20 complete games in high school. Or
It's
in
true.
college.
In college, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. But no, Maine is interesting because you get the coast, which is where I am now, which is
I don't know what that means.
really touristy and beaches and then you can go Western Maine, you get mountains, which ski resorts in the winter and people go and watch the foliage turn in the fall, and then you go to Northern Maine, which is where I'm from, and it's like potato fields. That's pretty much it. There's not much up there, but
At least it's not New Jersey.
it's true.
And then you got Kittery.
Kittery.
Are there nice parts of New Jersey? Like, as a guy from the Midwest, we only hear, like, at least I only hear bad stuff about New Jersey. And I got to imagine there's some really good stuff in New Jersey.
Where Russ is pretty nice. Like,
It's nice. It's fine. It's more of a joke than anything else. But like,
I think that's the thing. It's probably nice, but the joke is what gets.
well, I mean, there's 2-3 versions of New Jersey. North Jersey, which everyone just then thinks of The Sopranos. The Shore, which
That's where I want to go.
and Atlantic City, which might as well be a version of like Disneyland, where like Disneyland's not really in Florida; it's its own entity. Like Atlantic City's not really in New Jersey; it's just Atlantic City.
Hmm.
And then you get South Jersey, which is like the South. But New
It's
Jersey's
Philadelphia.
fine. It's when you get to there's like a chunk of it that's just industrial. When you get to like Newark and all of that,
Yeah.
all of the factories and the airport and everything.
Drive
And you go
by the
further north, and
Meadowlands.
there's a lot of really nice places with mountains and all of that stuff. I don't go there because fresh air is scary.
Mm.
But yeah, Central Jersey, born, raised, never left, never will, just because I'm sheltered and change scares me.
I
So-
suggest you don't underestimate the drawing power of the Garden State and buy your tickets in advance, gentlemen.
Lot
I'm
of good
drawn.
movie
I mean, I'm already
references.
Gus
going.
is really selling it. Yeah.
I'm already going for
He's
the
selling the
live
basement
events.
draft.
Well,
Yeah,
I tell anyone and everyone whenever they're like, "Oh man, we need to move away from here." I'm like, "Move to New Jersey. It sucks, but I'm here." Anne is asking if I've always lived in New Jersey. I am living less than 10 miles from where I grew up. Like I have not gone very far at all. I've stayed within about a 3-town area of where I was born and raised.
Wow.
I've stayed in the state. I mean, like I've lived all over the state, but I've stayed in the state.
I've never moved more than 3 towns away from where
I
I
haven't
grew up.
even stayed in this country.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
mean, now I'm willing to move. I actually am pretty willing to move, but now it's not a reality to move anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Can we send you somewhere for SFB live events so you can get out of the state a little more? Then,
But
Philly,
again,
We're
it's
working on it. We are working on
no,
it.
they're trying to get me to Orlando. I've been to Orlando. That's
Yeah, but but outside.
No. I want to get you west of what Chicago you said.
yeah, Chicago.
Chicago is interesting. We're gonna have to talk to Steven about.
See, and again, I can't really say I've been to Chicago.
I mentioned what we had going there. I don't want to talk about it on there, but
Do we have?
I want to remember to talk after.
Oh, yeah. We need to get Russ further west. If not, just come to Minnesota. Greg and I will hook you up with an awesome time.
Let's send Russ to Dallas. He can go hang out with Casey.
Listen, that one always looks like a fun
That
live.
might be the selling point.
I've only been to Dallas once, and it was in July, and it was so hot. I've flown into Dallas and driven places, but that's the only time I stayed in Dallas.
Oh crap! I've been to Texas. What's a map of the U.S.? Hold on.
That's west
Oh.
of
Chicago.
That is way west of Chicago. Okay,
I mean, there's
I've been to-
curvature of the earth. Like Maine is geographically the closest U.S. state to Africa.
Yeah.
The curvature is-
I never
Russ
really
knows
stopped
what's
to think
going
about it because I was there for like.
Russ, we need another person to come to Vegas next month.
I mean, we don't, and no, but no, I was at
I wouldn't say we don't. Maybe it's not a need, but it probably would be helpful.
Corpus Christi, Texas. I've been to. My friend was in the Army, and I went to visit him.
That's like East Coast of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's as far west as I've been. All right, so I amend my answer and looking at a map that is decently further west. So that brings me like almost halfway through the country.
Well, may I recommend the Denver live event because it's a fun time and it is so beautiful. You can
Oh, I would love to.
within an hour of that live event in any direction, you're going to find some amazing, beautiful sights. So, yeah, that's a good time. I wonder what percentage of the chat is going to try to go to a SFB live event this year.
All of them.
All of them.
Ah,
I think. I mean, Boston Live's going to definitely be different this next year. We
It's
tried
gonna be
something this
early.
last year. It'll be early. It'll be an early one.
It's gonna be so. Zach and I are already talking, and we're gonna go early so we can try to hit up as many as we can.
Chicago's the one I'm wondering if we need to make it early, the weekend before
Yeah.
the 4th.
Oh,
just for me, because that Monday I have something in Chicago, so it makes sense to have the live event on Sunday so that I can have one trip instead of two.
right.
But
So I've met you before. Because I've been to New York City, NYC live for the past 2 years.
Pandar Media. Was he wearing? He was wearing a panda mask, and you don't even remember him.
It's actually Sal.
Oh, you're that panda. I thought you were a completely different one.
I want to try to get to the New York live this year too, but it depends on how things fall. I mean, I'm almost
do a better job scheduling.
Yeah, I'm locked into the Orlando, so I'm doing that.
We don't even know what weekends these are, guys.
That's all right.
Nobody wants this, Aaron. Nobody wants Trenton live. Trust me.
Trenton.
Nobody wants that.
I know
we
that's.
do have an idea. We have an idea for.
I know that's half joke, but the amount of emails or messages we get of people like, "Have you considered a live event in this area?" And we're like, "I've never heard of that city before." I've heard of Trenton, obviously, but like, it's. Have you ever heard of this random city in Delaware? We should have a live event here, and I'm like, I'm not sure how many people we can get there.
I keep getting emails from the Trenton Thunder trying to sell me season tickets because I bought a set of tickets last year when Leo and I were coming down to pick you up to go to Canton, and we didn't like it ended up raining, and so we were like, let's not go to Trenton. But they're like, why don't you buy season tickets? I'm like, well, it's a 6-hour drive.
I'm here to Pittsburgh for Canton and catching a Pirates game.
Yes, I have already looked at that.
Yeah, so maybe we can arrange something there. But it's the same distance as driving from Cleveland.
We want to make Vegas really, really fun and special this year. And Bob and I are going to talk to Circa in 3 weeks, Bob?
Yeah, and Russ too now.
I was having conversations the other day, and it sounds like we want to make something really fun happen. So I hope you do go. Jeremy, I wouldn't call original. I mean, it's one of the original 17 or whatever, the first year we did it, but it's probably the biggest. It's probably the biggest. There's no question about that. And Greg does an awesome job handling it. I don't know how he does. I'm so glad I was like, Greg, you got this. Because he is so good at organizing the Minnesota Live event. But yeah, it's you pack a good 150 people into a room. I think we had a couple rooms last year we kind of took over a bar. We kind of take over whatever place it's at when you throw 150 people.
I was about to say, with that many people, you're gonna take over just about anything.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we've got at this point, 150 people at a live draft, and like when I first got into the Scott Fish Bowl, and this was a satellite, but there were 480 people.
There was about 150 people.
There were 480 people, and now we got 150 at a live draft. Like it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's incredible. Yeah, there's just about every place we go wants to have us back the next year, and we keep moving it. Like I know Surly, which is a brewery up here, offered it's a very well-known brewery up here, offered their place for us, for this upcoming year. We'll see what we do. Greg and I will probably talk about it going forward, but Minnesota would be a good one to come to, Russ. You'd meet a lot of people.
Oh, of course.
Everyone. And I know you're very people-y. You
I love me some people.
Super extrovert. So
love just
you're gonna have to bring me with you.
Yes.
Oh, Zach's my safe space.
Yes.
I like the emotional support.
I'm just imagining Zach walking in and Russ is on him like a koala. Like koala, Zach is doing a koala carry. It's Russ. Protect me.
No, like that's what happens at the expo. Like I'm off saying hi to people, like talking to everyone, and then all of a sudden I just kind of like walk in and
Comes
just like,
back.
okay,
Oh man.
gotta read.
Zach and I are sitting there eating. We're like, you want to go?
People will come up to me and they're like, "Where's Russ?" And I was like, "If you stay here, he'll be back."
If you hang around long enough.
Yeah.
That did Russ get blurry or have I been drinking too much? Is that
A little bit of both.
I'm just kidding. That was the expo for me year 1 and 2. Like year 1, I feel like I shook 4,000 hands and gave 2,000 hugs. That the next year I practiced hugging things. I was using like a grip thing to like practice my handshakes. Like I have a montage video of me. Like it's like
You're the best
best
around. Yes.
Just going to random movie theaters, putting in the coin and doing the grip.
Me getting ready to handshake a bunch of people the next year. Oh gosh, the the expos, yeah, those first 2 years for sure. Were we gonna do a live Royal Rumble in the background tonight? Because it feels like we're getting late on that. I thought it was going to be on the background while we were talking, but we never set it up.
I mean, it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
16 people.
For 16 people. Okay.
I don't know what 16 will enter though. So
well,
we can get to assign numbers to people.
How about this? We give away 2 things tonight. 2 random things. One is a wrestling Funko for someone in the chat who wants to enter the Rumble and they want a wrestling Funko. The second thing we give away is a random Funko for people who are not in that Rumble, and we exclude the people who are in the Rumble. They get their Rumble shot, and the other people get the random shot. That way, maybe we get 16 in the chat or less. I don't know, that want a wrestling Funko and want to be in the Rumble. Does that sound like it would work?
Sounds exceptionally fair to me.
Russ is really angry with me right now. I can tell.
It's just my face.
He's
steaming. No, we can't see your face.
He's
it's like
his camera.
Yeah, I don't know what I did to make my camera angry, but it's all weird looking.
The Stephen Wright Joker is like, I have my driver's license photo taken out of focus on purpose, so I get pulled over and they go, "You can go."
With the new partnership, a lot of them are going to be jumping in. Joe Hendry's totally going to be in the Rumble. And the second it's like, say his name and he appeared, it's going to be a pop in that stadium. It will be, Greg. I'm so excited for Joe Hendry. So excited. Finally got his championship belt too. This means nothing to 75% of the screen right now.
You're just happy you're happy.
Yeah, but every once in a while, my son or I will be like, say his name, and he appears. Everybody's Joe Hendry fans. Yeah, Greg, I can tell is a Joe Hendry fan. Yeah, Greg is drinks, and so he wants a Rumble. All right. If you want a wrestling Funko and to be in the Rumble, say Rumble, or no, say Retromania in the chat. Say Retromania in the chat, and Bob will take down the names of 16 of you. Hopefully there's 16 of you. Hopefully there's exactly 16 perfectly.
Well, if somebody's going to spin a wheel, then because we got to put numbers to those 16.
No,
because that's how they.
You can randomize on your own. We don't need 2 wheels. Just write them down, and we'll give them. It's pretty random anyway. This is only for to be in the Rumble and the wrestling Funko. If you don't get in the wrestling Rumble Funko, we will have a drawing
We'll
for
have
a
a wheel,
different
yeah.
prize for you.
Yeah.
So only if you want a wrestling fungo. Maybe Bob, do you just want to take the first 16?
Well, I mean,
Cool.
we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got like
I'm
maybe
not
10 or
even on the
12.
chat.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, you write them down, and then I wonder how many people are in the chat tonight that maybe getting the random Funko is a better like ratio, like a better
So, like,
odds.
are you asking people to actually play, or are you just assigning people to numbers?
No, it's all CPU. We're just
Yeah,
assigning
okay.
numbers, and we're gonna let it play while we talk.
Hey.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like we have 16. Oh no, it looks like we have 15 or 16, almost exactly.
All right. Well, then
Yeah,
stop it and.
yeah. You can you write them down, Bob? Do you have them written down? Are you copy
I'm
pasting?
working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
I got too many
Background
screens.
Bob right in the foreground. Nobody's watching, Bob. No pressure. You're good.
Zach, what was it? Did you have to when you got inducted into the was it Farmington or whatever, Maine
Yep.
Hall of Fame? Did you have to give a speech or anything? Was there a ceremony? What was that whole situation like?
So yeah, it was actually kind of a bigger deal than I kind of anticipated. So it was a pretty good sized ceremony. We ended up, you could invite people. So I had, I don't know, 10 or 12 people there for me. And then there were 6 other people, 5 athletes, and then the athletic director that was there when I was there. And I got an email from the athletic director currently who was setting all this up. And he was actually the women's basketball coach when I was there. So I know, like, Jamie Bowden, I know him pretty well. And he's like, we're going to try to keep this quick. We're going to do a video, and we're going to have somebody come up and talk, and we'll have contacted some people who you played with. And so they'll have little quotes. And so we're going to try to keep it to 3 minutes, like speeches or whatever. He's like, you don't even have to say anything. If you just want to come up and say thank you, that's fine. I'm like, cool. So they had it. I was going last. And so the first person comes up and they spend like 20 minutes on they have it written out and do the speech. I'm like, I didn't write anything down because I was told it was going to be a 3-minute speech. And so we go through this whole thing where everybody is, thanking their, babysitter from 3rd grade all the way up through to, and so I get up and I'm like, if you've ever seen me pitch, you know that this is going to be really quick. Like I threw 9-inning games in less than an hour and a half when I was in college. Like we're going. And so my speech ended up being about 3 minutes, and I got everybody thanked that I wanted to. And the coach that I played for, he passed away. But he apparently was involved in the last, like he was involved in getting me into the Hall of Fame. So like he was part of the last committee that met to have me inducted. And so his wife actually came. And so I got to talk with her, and it was nice to be able to thank him through her being there too. So, but I was pretty quick. I know it's hard to believe that I would be quick, and because that's not how I generally am. But it was good.
Yeah, I've got 15.
15 is fine, unless we absolutely need a 16th. You can put me in.
I see one more, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool, Zach.
It'll be not to be, but like I'm being inducted into my high school Hall of Fame this summer.
Okay. And
they're inducting my dad as a coach in the same ceremony.
That's awesome.
That's like that, and like I don't necessarily like to be the center of attention. I don't need the accolades. Like, I had fun playing. I would have done it if nobody was watching. But like to be able to go in with him and for him to be recognized, because he won over 300 games as a baseball coach, and he was also he was a great girls basketball coach before I was born. And so to be able to do that, and I was like, it's kind of about time that they inducted it. They named the road to the high school after him.
That's wow.
But now
That's
they're finally inducting him into the Hall of Fame at the high school. So that's really cool.
That's awesome. I'd be more happy about I think we're very similar, but I'd be more happy about my dad gaining than I would about myself.
Absolutely. Like that was and it was funny. The guy who called to tell me was like, just so you know, we're putting your and that's awesome. Like I'm so excited to see him go in and to see people everybody will gush about it. He was an English teacher there. Like everybody it's a small town, so everybody had him either for English or as a coach, and so that'll be a ton of fun.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of the Fantasy Cares board is very similar in that we like to see other people happy.
Yeah,
I'm a very father-son guy, so that would be tears seeing my dad in something like that.
Yeah, it's the
am I the only one here that
have a catch?
Kids, but...
What'd you say, Russ?
What, am I the only one here that hates their kids? But then I realized you were talking about your dad. I'm like, am I the only one here that hates my dad? I mean, yeah, you guys and your families.
My dad's awesome. My dad. It's funny when we traveled when I was a kid. No matter where we traveled, we'd go to Yellowstone, and my dad would run into people he knew. No matter where, he makes such an impression on people at all times. Like my dad was a teacher / professor, et cetera, for 30 plus years, just teaching loads and loads and loads of students. And his memory is like the sharpest you can imagine. So he remembers everyone, and he made he was one of those teachers that every kid going through school is like, he's my favorite teacher, you know, like that guy. And I'm just absurdly proud of that. But then even before he was a teacher, he was a smoke jumper. And I don't know if everyone knows what that is, but he worked for the U.S. Forest Service, and he would get flown out to different places where there were fires, and they'd get dropped in the middle, and they would fight the fire from the inside and stuff. So when I was growing up, would have these souvenirs of petrified wood and stuff, and I'm like, the life my dad lived compared to me, little fantasy football analyst, I'm like, my dad was he did some stuff, you know. But I'm just absurdly proud of my dad.
All right. Well, I have the order.
Heartbreak.
I might put the name up on the screen as the wrestler enters, so they don't know who they have yet or what number they are.
Oh yeah. You'll have to choose that. I will be right.
What happens is the first two on the list are going to be the first two. That are
absolutely.
In the ring. And then I will announce who the third player is when they come down to the ring. Yep.
Right. How many seconds in between are you putting?
It's 10 seconds.
Are you going to go Michael Buffer? Or are you going to go Lawler? How are you going to announce them coming to the ring?
This is going to be quick, people jumping in. Every 10 seconds.
But you can only have 8 in the ring at a time.
Yep.
So
I know.
It could slow down.
Yep. All right. I'll be right back. I got to grab something. So someone talk.
Share that screen. I don't know how did I get in charge of this?
Bob in the background, firmly in the foreground.
Where do we want to go?
Let's just pick something. Ooh. That one.
Okay. So, rules. So, no. Stage.
We just picked the stage.
And but I didn't know which one the A and the B were, so I hit B and not. All right. So I don't know who those two are. but the one on the left is Roto Coach, and the masked man is Scampers. And coming into the ring is Sniper Mel.
Nice.
So I think that's Sandman and War Horse. And then that's one of the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. All right, who's that?
This is Panda. And coming next,
Ooh.
Steve F.
The back body drop. It's pandemonium.
Oh,
See what I did there? Yeah.
Oh, pile driver.
Have you guys? I'm sure Bob has, but Zach or Zach or
And now in the
Russell,
ring is Dame.
What, Scott?
Have either of you played this yet?
I haven't played it yet. I watched Bob play it.
Oh, that's Sandman coming in.
Ian loves it. I was playing it a little
Sandman
bit earlier.
is Greggles.
I made it to the final 6 or so in a rumble, but then I lost.
See, I gotta get myself set up to do it. Like I have the I think it's like Super Nintendo Royal Rumble still, which is like I assume that this is fairly loosely based on that because it's
Buy and sell was the 8th.
It's very similar. There's a punch button, there's a kick button, there's a run button.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're in a grapple, you tap the button tap the what is it, the X button really fast.
Elbow drop.
Yeah.
I really should have written down all the names of the wrestlers.
Oh, he's going for the Boston Crab. Oh, I got kicked off.
Wait,
I thought Royal
him?
Rumble used to toss him over the top.
Do the people in the chat, do you remember which
Someone
one
got
is you?
eliminated?
Someone got pinned.
Well, Paul
Apparently-
just entered the ring as Hollywood.
Paul just entered the ring as Hollywood. All right.
Apparently, this match is set for one fall. It's not. We're not throwing them out.
You can do both.
Yeah.
In Retromania, you can either pin or get thrown out.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I learned that today.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. That's another person
I
eliminated.
know. We're doing a rumble. Ian just said that's only in a rumble, and I'm like, we're doing a rumble.
So
See, we should have brought Ian on. He's the
coming
resident
into
expert.
the ring now is Reebok Joe.
You can come over, Ian, if you want.
How is his storyline going? Like when last we were
Maybe you can help me with some of
he
the
had done
wrestlers.
the heel turn where
Yeah, he had done the heel turn, and then everyone was against him. I'll ask him.
And Mr. Lubafu just entered the ring.
Oh, there goes Hollywood.
Oh,
Ooh, Hollywood's been eliminated. So much
still-
for Paul.
I still think
And
this would. Sorry, Bob.
Harder is coming into the ring. Jeremy Harder.
I still
the
think
white
this
trunks.
is such an awesome way to like do draft order or something like that.
Brian Atkins has entered the ring. And I believe Greggles just got eliminated.
Oh no.
Oh, the blue meanie. I know that one. Is Greg Eckert. No, that's
man.
Hawk up in the corner there.
Oh, Boston
I'm in the
Crab
rope
again.
punching a dude in the chest.
So the last one to enter the ring is going to be Cindy.
The Euchre Dynasty League, Hep says.
I got called a euchre snob by Alan because I only play bid euchre. So if you can look up euchre and bid euchre is basically auction. It's basically
We like to call it Bosch Euchre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Euchre, regular Euchre. No, Bosch plays. Bosch doesn't play bid.
I know.
Regular Euchre is like Snake. It's like redraft. Like it's just you're given what you're given. Bid Euchre has strategy to it. So it's shocking to me that Bosch is like, I don't want to auction. I don't want strategy. I just want it handed to me. Like it makes no sense to me why Bosch would like Euchre over bid, like just plain old Euchre over instead of bidding and strategy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's totally like counterintuitive to
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, Alan, is not a snob about it. Play whatever you like. I really don't want to play Euchre if there's no bidding. Like I just don't. It's not as enjoyable. I like the
I believe we have
strategy.
retro coach in there.
I like the
Accurate
strategy of
and
a card,
Cindy.
you know. But everybody gets to play what they like. You get to eat what you like. You get to enjoy what you like. I
Yeah.
love that you love that. It's not for me. I want the strategy, you know?
Yep.
So
See, I don't want strategy because that means you need to know what you're doing and be smart about it. I'm better when like half the game is made for me.
yeah. Especially when it's a game you don't understand very well, it's kind of fun to just be like, all right, like let it come at me. By the way, my son is right here.
All right, final two.
Final two. I believe it's the first and the last. I believe it's the first entry.
If that is the
Cindy.
first and the last, that's incredible.
I believe it is.
so
I
high.
believe it's retro coach and Cindy. The guy that's bleeding is definitely retro coach.
Oh,
Maybe it's
we need a pile driver. Finish him.
it could be
Drop kick to the faces. Oh, Boston Crab time.
Oh,
Ian says you can do steel cage matches in this,
And you can jump off the top of the steel cage.
and you can jump off the. You can hear him. I don't need to repeat what he says.
Just pin him.
oh no.
I don't know. Does he have too much? Do they have too much power to pin? Like too much?
You can pin whenever you want, but probably
They'll probably
out.
kick
They'll
out.
probably kick out.
Eh, maybe.
who is Nikolai fighting there, Ian?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Who
There
just
it is.
won?
It's over.
It's over.
If he was the first entry, the champion. Let's see.
Beaten 9 people.
Yeah, I believe it was.
That's the ranking, but who actually won? Who won?
I believe it was retro coach.
You believe it was literally just your job to figure out who was who.
I didn't know the name of the person. I went by faces on that. Like I didn't know. Like I couldn't write down the wrestler's name. I thought it was Sandman, but it wasn't Sandman the first game in the ring. I don't know. I knew like 3 of them. First wins, yeah. The chat knows.
The chat knows. The chat knows.
Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, I will say if anyone's gonna anyone's gonna win a wrestling thing, it should be retro coach.
And I know which one he wants to win.
Which you want to show it? Because I know what you're gonna pull out. I know the one he wants. I know what you're gonna pull out, and you have it. I don't have this one. So retro. I'm gonna guess this is the Funko you want.
Ricky Steamboat.
Yep. That is my
The
guess.
dragon.
I love, retro. I suppose we can give you your choice. I just assume you'll want that one.
This is my guess that he chooses.
Yeah, we have some Cena's, some Rocks. I think we have a Stone Cold. We have Roman Reigns. I have a Becky Lynch, which is pretty damn awesome. I like Becky Lynch.
Mhm.
Every time her music hits, I'm like, that is. I
Hopefully
hope
it
she.
hits at the Rumble.
I know. Hopefully she comes
I
back
hope
for the
she
Rumble.
wins the Rumble. Probably not. Probably.
We don't have a taker, Jeremy. They are weirdly not weirdly, but they are not cheap. The taker Funkos are not cheap, so we don't have any taker Funkos. But yeah, retro. Let it. Yeah. Retro wants the classic.
No, you have the choice. You're in the
No,
chat.
I think that's what he's saying. I think he wants.
Oh.
I think he wants Steamboat. No, we don't have. We don't have a Rob Van Dam.
Oh,
I do remember Rob Van
That
Dam.
sounded like some kind of illness.
No, Rob Van Dam. He was wrestling in the days that I was really into wrestling.
That ain't wrestling.
Yeah, but we should have another. I mean, who wasn't in the Rumble? Like, who wasn't in the, like, raise your hand if you weren't in the Rumble. Say, I wasn't in the Rumble. Just let us know.
That would be awesome. George the Animal Steel eating a turnbuckle. The Bushwhackers.
The Bushwhackers, yeah.
Maybe everyone here was in the Rumble. Oh, Whiteko wasn't.
Maybe anyone that stuck around. There was a couple that Anne didn't get in.
All right. If you were not in the Rumble, put what do we want to put in the chat?
What is this for?
Okay. If you were not in the Rumble, put Farmington HOF in the chat.
I was going to say
HOF.
I was going to say west of Chicago. Either one works.
Oh, look at it. Charlene's already there. She's got it. Props to Zach Reed. 20 complete games. Mark Burley of Farmington, Maine.
Should I be putting this on a wheel or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that would be great, Russ.
From now on, I'm gonna write down all the wrestlers' names ahead of time.
It's for the people who did not get to be in the Rumble for the.
Pull up the picture.
It's funny,
So
Scott. The coach, we used to have one umpire who did a lot of our games, and when he would show up to games, he would ask Coach Meter if I was pitching.
Yeah.
And Meter would always say yes. And then he would tell me that I was pitching that day. It didn't matter if I pitched like 2 days before, because I would have like a really big strike zone with him because he knew we were getting out quick.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
So that's
awesome.
really like that's most of the complete games and the innings pitched were, this umpire would show up and be like, "Is Zach pitching today?" And coach would be like, "Yeah." And then I'd show up to the field and he's like, "You're pitching today." I'm like,
oh, I love it.
So if you were not in the Rumble, type Farmington HOF in the chat and you will get a chance to win something.
Yep. Ian.
Yeah.
Ian's here. He's a big sports guy. Zach is just got inducted into the Maine College Hall of Fame for his college, and he's going to be inducted into his high school Hall of Fame.
Wow.
He was a two-way player, 300 plus batter, and a pitcher with 20 complete games.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Dang.
used to be it was a while ago.
He used to be.
Yeah.
He had a mane of hair back then,
Yeah.
like went all the way back down his back.
That's
was like
exactly why his name was Maine in college. Also,
It was Tim Lincecum like. It was Tim Lincecum, Wiley Wiggins of baseball.
Mm.
Do you remember Wiley Wiggins? Is that a reference that is lost on everyone in the
I don't know Wiley Wiggins, but
in the chat oh man, really? So that was the name of the actor in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
The long-haired kid actor in Dazed and Confused. Oh yeah, thank you, Retro Coach.
Yeah.
Now I'm not feeling so old. 1992 classic.
I mean, I know the movie. I just don't know the dude's name.
Yeah,
Mister,
I'm
ran
just
a
glad
video
one
store.
person got it.
No, not a new color. Still the same. Chills are multiplying as last time.
Yeah, because
a good
when
color,
when Tim Lincecum became a thing, I'm like, holy crap, that's Wiley Wiggins. What's going on here? I've told you, I think I told last week my travel baseball Tim Lincecum story, right? Yeah, pretty sure I did.
Reebok Joe was in the Rumble, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
All right,
he was.
Yeah, this is for non-rumblers.
Yeah, you know, people just see people typing stuff in the chat, so they type it in also when they don't even really know what's going on.
Yeah, that happens.
All right, but here, these are the people that threw their names out there that have not, or through Farmington Hall of Fame out there that were not in the Rumble.
Not in Rumble Farmington Hall of Famers. Perfect.
Ready to go? Anyone?
Yeah, I am not on that screen.
This is great. Apparently, the director got really upset about that too.
Happened the 24
and
point
it's
font.
Charlene. Woohoo! Charlene. Good. We'll get her something fun. When did they start putting ads?
Is this the stop hair loss? Is that a targeted ad?
Is Hims a hair loss? I thought Hims was like an
It is a gender affirming care company.
I thought it was an ED pill.
That's part of it.
I have no idea. Okay.
Yeah, but there's also hers.
Is it?
It's a thing.
I don't pay enough attention.
Hepworth
is saying it's weight loss. Charlene is saying,
see, there's a hers. Yeah,
it's all of it. Yeah.
I got this for next time, so we can actually figure out which wrestlers are which.
I clearly know so little. Yeah, hers chips, awesome Office reference there, and actual Canadian chip company. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand any of this.
What did Charlene win, by the way?
Something random, a random Funko. I probably have one downstairs. It's very far away from me.
Do you have a random Funko?
I probably do. Bob probably does too. Charlene, what kind of Funkos do you like?
I have football.
Give me a genre.
Oh. Yeah, what's a genre? I mean, I know what a genre is. I'm not asking. I worked at a video store. I know what a genre is.
I also have Star Wars.
Oh my gosh. One of these days I should come on here and we should have a night of me telling video store stories. Maybe I'll grab my wife.
That would be awesome.
I would be down for that. But I don't know if you were trying to be sarcastic, but I would absolutely sit and listen to all of it.
I'm not being sarcastic. Working at a video store, especially a video store with one of those sections, is a fun experience. And there's about 40% of the chat was that understood what I meant by that, and probably 50% of the screen realized what I meant by that. Zach did.
I say, Russ, you're a beautiful human, Russ.
Zach, I missed what you said. So.
Zach 100%.
I did. I laughed. I did.
All right. Well, she has
Disney.
All right. Well,
What percentage of the chat understood what I meant?
What'd you say? I missed what you said.
He said a video store that has one of those sections
Oh,
is interesting to work in.
oh. Does that just mean I'm old? That I understand that? Yeah, so this is a Ray Funko signed by Kaylee Fleming, the girl who played young Ray.
That's awesome. Wow. That's a good one.
She says she has some Star Wars Funkos, so let's add to the collection.
That's a great one.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one, Charlene.
I think we're all old enough to understand that section.
Yeah, I think a giant percentage of this chat. I think 40% was underdoing it.
Yeah.
The best was when you would get someone who would come in and get something from that section, and they'd come back and return it an hour later, and you're like, oh, man.
Oh.
Do I even want to touch and rewind this videotape? Because I'm old enough that there are VHSs that I was checking back in.
Did they rewind?
Come on, they only made
Almost
it like
never. Almost never.
they made it like 45 seconds into the movie anyway. What's the difference?
Almost never, Bob. I mean, those customers almost never rewound. Other customers were usually pretty good about it. We never cared. We never cared. We had rewinders. We just put it in, just whatever. It doesn't matter. There's something to do.
Just be kind. Rewind. Also a pretty good movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think so coming up, I feel like we're tailing off here. Coming up, we're going to have a squares contest for the Super Bowl. So keep an eye out for that. I might try to do something for the Royal Rumble for those who like wrestling. You know, I'm sure people on social media will, a handful of people will jump in where you will pick an entrant number, and if that entrant number wins, you'll be entered into a drawing for something fun. So keep an eye out for that. We may or may not, but probably will have a game night or multiple game nights or maybe a weekly game night. I don't know. Coming up. We like games. So we might have a game night coming up. So keep an eye out for that. Anything else we got that we want to talk about before we head out?
I got slowed down on putting up some more shirts, but there will be some more shirts randomly popping into the store.
Okay.
I need to get the tax forms out first.
Yeah, we need to talk about.
We have a deadline on that versus versus some shirts that I want to
talk
play
about
around
legally
with.
required business on the on the live stream.
I know this isn't a football show, so this may not be the right audience, but we're about 3 weeks, maybe 4, from doing a Thursday the Dynasty Dummies rookie hootenanny, which if it's okay, we'll be on the Fantasy Cares airwaves again.
Preferred, yes,
and my rookie film notes will be available again. I'm
no,
donating them.
Stop talking. You don't get to play coy when you're on the board now.
I just want to make sure that it's okay.
Oh, if I'm allowed, if it's okay, guys.
I'm not making unilateral decisions.
Hold on, Zach. You need to stop, rewind, be kind, and you need.
I said hour.
Say, I am going to do this, guys.
Yeah. But
Valentine's Day,
this is what I want to do.
So, but yeah, that'll be probably 3, maybe 4 weeks. It may be the day before Valentine's Day, depending on how Jay
almost
goes.
Exactly 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have it the Thursday the combine starts. I mean, weigh-ins are on that Tuesday and Wednesday, but
Well, I mean, if we don't start till the combine, we're not gonna get through everybody that we need to, because we do 6 players a week.
okay.
And so we've got to we got to have a little bit of leeway here. So, but
See you, Charlene. Definitely understand that. Yeah, I think we're good. I think
Yep.
we're good. We can call it.
and Zach has a learning curve. Zach's learning curve is not very steep. It takes me a minute.
We're so close to 1,000 people watching.
which is what we had. I mean, I don't know if it's possible, Scott, but will you be able to post like the Google slides on the website for people to see, or
What
Okay.
Google Slides?
of Zach's notes?
Oh, I'm sure we can figure something out.
Okay.
Technology is amazing in 2025.
Do
Sure we can
you
figure out some stuff.
have to use the command / button?
We'll figure something out.
Command / turtle.
Oh, and Sniper Mel says you could do some kind of show for the draft. We'll definitely be here for
Oh yeah.
the draft. Like that's
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Day 2
We'll-
and 3.
We'll put it on HyperCard. We'll-
Yeah, no. I love it. You just took me back to the Mac Classic, the Hyperstack, HyperCard. Yep.
Even Russ and Bob are like, what? Really, Russ? Raise your hand in the chat if you remember HyperCard.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, HyperCard. I remember my very first like trying to make a video game on HyperCard. Oh, good old HyperCard. Awesome times. I agree, Ann. Awesome hangout. It's good sharing the airwaves with you three once again.
Always.
As always, it is my bedtime. So thanks everyone for taking some time on a Wednesday evening / night to hang out with us. We greatly appreciate it. It means a whole lot that you take the time out of your day, because we would be here doing this anyway because we got nothing better to do. But it means so much more that other people are willing to sit around for the silliness that goes on. And for now, night, everybody.